My sister-in-law, Dale, has decided she would narrate this video for me because she knows more about this house than most anybody else left alive in that family. Hope you enjoy it.
Tell me when.
Yeah, you ready?
Okay. Hi, I'm Dale London, and this is my great granddad's house. This is where his four sons were born. It was built before the Civil War, well, the War of Northern Aggression. Um, Out there behind the house is a smokehouse, and on the side is two tobacco barns. And I remember going up there when I was little. I think all of his grandchildren lived in that house at one time or the other, except the two girls. And it was right down the street from my Aunt Virginia and Uncle Billy's, and right up the street from my grandmother's. And he died pretty early with Bright's disease. His name was John Calvin London, and he married Lenore Cannon, and she lived a long time. And the children would take turns having her at their house, a couple of weeks here and a couple of weeks there. And of course, she didn't drive, but she got a widow's pension from the United States, and it was a Confederate widow's pension. But that old house has seen a lot. It's got a built-in bed upstairs that is very historic, and I hate to lose it, but it's built into the wall and stuff. And they're trying to restore it some where the groundhogs have gone and undermined it. But it sits on a hill and it's just pretty as it can be. There's an old well. It used to have a bucket and everything out there where that white patch is behind it. And it's gone now and it's been capped, which is a good thing. Nobody can fall in it. Okay, Charles. My dad and mom lived there when they were first married. My dad was a POW from World War II, and my mom worked at the ration board in Reidsville. And when they first got married, the first 5 years, they lived in that house before they had children. And when they were 30, here I came, and after that, there were four more till they turned 40. And by this time, they had moved back to the store my grandmother ran over at Argan Hill, up the road some. And then I think Aunt Virginia and Uncle Billy lived there for a while till they got their house built. And James and Louise, my Aunt Louise and her husband James, lived there when they first got married. So it was kind of a family. Instead of renting a place, you just went to the old house. And it, of course, had just electricity, had no running water. The electricity in that house is Lord knows how old. I'd be scared to turn anything on. And I don't know how much of the house they actually lived in. I don't think they lived upstairs or anything after that. But I'm sure my grandma Lenore, when she had the four boys, I'm sure the house was used all together. And the whole farm over there is spread out. There's farmland back behind it. There's farmland across the street from it. And there's farmland on down to my grandma Dink's. And her and they used to have tobacco out there. And they would go, the four boys that my grandma Dink had, including my dad, would each have an acre. And that's the way they made their money. And then they helped my granddad with the rest of it, and that's how the taxes were paid. And they made their money. And Dad said, that, of course, he would live sometimes a little through the Depression. And he said they didn't know that they were poor because everybody they knew was like that. And the Depression didn't touch them. The only thing they bought in town was sugar and coffee and some chewing tobacco, maybe. Most of the time, everybody rolled their own. And my granddaddy Cap had a still, so of course you had to have some sugar.
Like father, like daughter.
And I've been looking for that still, but I can't find it. They hid it well, they dismounted it and put it somewhere. But Eventually, I hope I run up on it. My dad hunted all over that land and all the neighbors' land because it was just all like a big family living down there. And the Frenches and the Londons were intertwined. They never married into each other, but every London has a French, and every French has a London. And when Miss Bly and Charles got stuck down here the other day doing this, of course, it was a French who came and got them out.
That's the truth.
And I guess Elmer French is about 87, maybe, and he's still going strong. He's got French farms, and they do a lot of stuff. I don't know whether he's decided to grow hemp yet or not, but I'm sure he will before it's over with. And believe it or not, this little street up here is busy sometimes. And you'll see farmers stop to talk to each other. And there was a lot of hunting going on down there. My dad got a 14-point buck, which is we had done for him, the head of it. And my niece has it, and she's moved to Tennessee. But now one of the Frenches owns it because my dad's generation is just about gone except for my Aunt Virginia. And she doesn't want to farm, and she didn't want to hold on to the land. And there's Sarah Bly and Charles and the French's tractor. That tractor paid off because it pulled Charles and Sarah out of that red mud. I don't know why they thought they could four-wheel, but they did. And I believe they both got covered up. But you live and learn.
And you can wrap it.
Okay, we're through.
I mean, you just wrap it.
Wrap up.
Wrap it up. You through?
Yeah.
All righty then. That was my sister-in-law, and I think I'm getting recorded, but I don't know. And she was kind enough to narrate this thing for me because I don't know nothing about this place except my wife's kinfolk had it. I hope y'all liked and watched this video and liked it as much as I did doing it. Y'all take care, play pretty, and above all, endeavor to persevere.